Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're checking out designers' salaries and why UX and UI design is one of the most highly paid creative careers in the world today. I'll be dividing this video into different chapters, actual data of salaries of this past year, the factors that are determining these salaries and what makes a difference. And also I'll share how I went from a junior design salary to a vice president design salary in just a matter of 4 to 5 years. So without further ado, let's just get started with this video. The following segment of this video would not be possible without Ramakrishna and the wonderful team at Zeta UX Design. They're the people who've accumulated all this information, data, charts, and so much more. I will be giving a link in the description so that even you guys can check out the full report in detail and see what they have to say on their end. Alright, so the first slide shows you junior design salaries. However, this will give you a benchmark of where design salaries are all over the world in general. Now, out of 227 people, the median salary calculated was 7 lakh rupees, and I can guarantee this is true. Being the founder of a design school, I know what the students who are being placed through us are earning, and it's generally between 6 to 8 lakh rupees. So 7 lakh rupees is just the sweet spot to begin with. And this is of course yearly salary, not monthly. Now the median salary, which is 7 lakh rupees, has definitely gone up by 2 to 3 lakh rupees in the past 3 to 4 years, which I'm really happy about. Also, you can see there are some people who are earning in the top 1% as well, which is 35 lakh rupees a year. And this is mostly in companies like Google, Adobe. These are the kind of salaries that you will see in those big companies. However, for mid to high level companies in your own country, it'll be in the middle chart. And of course, for people working in startups or companies which generally don't pay much for design, you will see the trend going at the bottom. So remember that as well. The next salary range is 2 to 5 years, and don't worry about it. I will be breaking all these down in detail in the next chapter of this video. 2 to 5 years is generally a UX designer or a mid-level UX designer. Those are the most common two titles given to 2 to 5 year designers. Now, again, we have 205 respondents, and the bar gets stuck at the same point as you can see in the middle. So the medium salary here is 10 lakh rupees, which I can say is absolutely correct. However, I generally see the trend going up these days. So it's generally between 10 to 12 lakh rupees. So I would say in this case, 10 lakh rupees is at the lowest point rather than the highest point. I will cherish that day when the bar is opposite here. The bar is high at the top and low at the bottom, and that is what we really need to see in this case. The highest, as you can see, the salary in 2 to 5 year range is 61 lakh rupees. That's a lot of money for a mid-level UX designer. So I would say again, in companies like Google, Amazon, Netflix, or a very high level MNC based out of your country itself. Okay, this is where it's starting to get interesting, because now we see the bar going up here and the lower bars are going down here, and that is what I'm excited about. 5 to 10 year experience is generally people who are mid to senior level UX designers, and in some cases even lead designers and managers, depending on how fast they moved in the company and what the company has as a system. The median salary here is 20 lakh rupees. I would again say this is lower than what I would have also thought. Here I would expect more like 24 lakh rupees a year to compensate for the 5 to 10 year experience. And generally people should target that as well. Here, as you can see, the highest salaries are 75 lakh rupees. Cha-ching! That's getting closer to the 1 crore mark, which is surprising. Down there, the salaries, the lowest salaries are so low. That means very few people are earning in the lower 10 to 20%. Now, I would say those are people who are working still as UX designers in small scale startups or beginner startups. So I would say those are the numbers you never really need to worry about, because normal companies, well-known companies, even local companies will not have that as a standard for anyone in that year range. Now it is getting to a point where the standards are 100% set, where nobody charges lower than a certain amount and people generally charge a higher salary here. Now here in this case, 10 to 15 years of experience, most people out of 36 respondents, which is fair, are charging 30 lakh rupees and above. I would say again, little lower than what even I expected. I was expecting around 35 to 36 lakh rupees. However, as you can see, the 10 to 15 year experience gap is generally for senior design managers, in some companies even head of design. All right, so 15 plus years, 12 people only, which again, I'm not surprised since few people are in that category right now. 53 lakh rupees is the medium salary. Now, so by the time you reach to this president of design, head of design, director of design for sure, and in some cases even CDO, chief design officer, you will be earning maximum of 3 crore rupees a year. Now, just to give you reference, $1 million is somewhere around 7 crore rupees. So 3 crores is getting closer, very close to the $1 million salary a year. And in the next 4 to 5 years, I would say India is gonna become a part of the entire world's economy. And I can really assure you this 3 crore is going to go to that 7 crore mark in the next 4 to 5 years, since India has started to become the Silicon Valley of the world. Most people are now requiring Indians to give them IT services and products. And that is where this 3 crore salary range is going to go up to 7 crores. I do sweat in my videos. There's a hot light here. There's heat coming from here. And in this very room, unfortunately, I did not get an AC put here. And I don't regret it because I love your comments. Now let's move on to the segment that I am personally most excited of, because it's something that I can really educate you guys on because I've gone through these as well. This might seem like number one point, but no. This is number one salary, which means what you begin with, what you sow in the ground is what you will reap. Yes. So if you begin with a salary, which is a good median salary, then your salary when you're in the senior positions or in the lead positions will be what you saw in the charts earlier in the higher marks. So if you're charging higher to begin with, there's a higher chance that your increment, which will compound over the years, which will go from 10% to maybe 15% and then keeps on increasing, will be much higher as well. Now, in this case, you have to make sure that what you're charging as your first salary is like your starting line. And if you start well, there is a higher chance that you'll finish well as well. Now, how do you ensure this? It's super simple. There are websites like Glassdoor.com, which publicly put out people's salaries out there from different companies. So, for example, you get a job offer from Google. Great. You can go to Google's Glassdoor and see salaries which are put by their own employees. And then you can validate your own value and as well as even match it up with the salaries of other UX designers or other employees, whichever field you are going into. Another great way, if you can't validate on Glassdoor, is just to go to LinkedIn and cold message designers. Just talk to them that, hey man, I would really love to know your experience in dash company, and I would like to understand, what they are like with pays and stuff like that. I wish we could connect. And if that person agrees, you can always talk to him in private, maybe meet him up with him or through like a nice phone call or something and ask him these details in person. Once you do that, you have a benchmark saying, okay, other designers are also doing well. I don't want to be behind him. If you're behind other people, I can assure you it will create a lot of stress and eventually a huge mental block, because you will be in this constant pressure to reach the level your other co-workers are at, even though your skills might be the similar skill set or even higher than them. And that will literally kill you from the inside. So I suggest make sure you start well so that even your mental health is not affected in the long term. I've been through it, so I'd suggest Please take care. Now, the second one is what I'm calling the growth and jump. I'm just calling it the growth and jump because there are two cases in this one topic. The first case in this case is you stick with a company for a very long time. For example, you get a great job at a well-reputed company, or maybe even your dream job. You want to keep that dream job for say 5 to 10 years. It's all up to you. If you're enjoying the experience, great. But make sure in that company, there is good amount of growth every year. So if you see the company grow every year, which I'm sure you can through news channels, through other people talking about it inside the company as well, make sure that they not only give you the right kind of increment over the years, but also give you bonuses as well as perks for your hard work. So if you're putting in hard work, which is showing them results, make sure you are able to demand that kind of return from that company as well. A lot of companies might even offer you things like ESOPs, which are basically a small amount of shares in their company along with your current salary. And that can be a huge incentive, especially if it's a company which is going to blow up in the upcoming years. I might put some screenshots of companies which are offering this ESOP facility inside their company, thanks to the report given out by Zeta. The second case in this whole topic has to be your jumps. So if you're in a certain, say, startup, and that startup is paying you a decent amount of money, but you don't see that startup growing as much, and neither do you see yourself growing in that startup. So you want to shift from there in 1 to 2 years, unless your mind changes and you have personal things to take care of. However, if you do jump from one company to another, not only will you have a salary increment in a lot of cases, but also you will get a new company to work with, a new team to work with. So everything will be fresh. Hence, the mental blocks you might have had or the creative blocks that you were facing in the previous companies will, at least for a temporary period of time, subside. Of course, I would suggest working on those on a long term and not depending on companies and teams, but definitely it does help a little bit. But also you will get a chance to get a boost in your salary. Sometimes you need that one change to boost that initial slowness or that initial start where you started below what you were expecting. Sometimes that is what really helps to boost things in. And this little icon on the left, right, whatever, is accurate to that, because you're literally injecting a little bit of energy into your career in that case. Now, I did not know which illustration to put for this slide, but here you go. This is just representing the company and the nature of the company itself. Now, in a country like India, companies like Reliance and Tata are very highly respected. And I'll tell you why. These companies offer great medical insurances. They help you out in a lot of situations. In fact, a lot of my family has been working with these companies in the past, and they have nothing but the best to say about these companies because they take care of their employees. The nature of the company and the kind of company it is really holds a lot of importance here. So if you're a UX designer, generally you would target, say, a tech company. And that is completely fair, because not only do tech companies require the most designers, but they also will give you a high increment since tech is on the high growth range right now. So if you're a UX designer, your first priority, in my opinion, should be something related or in tech in general. However, if you're working even for a company like Tata in a segment which is not tech related, you will have a great experience nevertheless, even if the salary is not as high as the tech companies. So you need to balance the salaries you're getting, the perks you're getting, the nature of that company. Are they harsh on their employees, or are they friendly and nice? A lot of these factors will determine your overall expectation as a salary or income from that company now as well as in the future. Trust me, a lot of times if a company is paying you a lot, doesn't mean they'll treat you the way you want to be treated. So make sure you're taking all that in a view, and then you look at it, and then you make a decision of what salary you want with that company, or you just want to skip that company in general. So those are my tips there. All right, this next topic is something that even Zeta has done research on, and I'll put something on screen for sure. Different cities in different countries will pay you a higher salary, and it could literally double what you're earning sometimes in certain cases. So for example, in a country like India, where I live in, Delhi and in the north, tech is not of the most importance. There are, financial companies, there are production companies, there are factories, things like that. So tech isn't of the utmost focus in a city like Delhi. However, if I go just across the border of my city, I get to Gurgaon, which is like I would say, tech capital of the north, if nothing else. So there you will find tech companies and high paying companies, like even companies like Google and Adobe have set up a nice structure in those parts of the city, which is called Delhi NCR. Now, if we toddle towards the south, we're gonna find the salaries changed drastically. Also, if you go to Bangalore, the viewpoint just changes completely. There's no point comparing even Delhi to Bangalore or Mumbai to Bangalore. Most tech companies have their India headquarters in cities like Bangalore. And that is where the tech industry really is. That is where startup industry also really is. Now, the same trend follows in every other country. There are countries in Africa, in South Africa, that are paying high, in certain countries in Australia. So every career in that case would have a certain area that you can work in, and that is how the world works. And you need to take that also into perspective and see where you need to be in your country. See whether you can actually go there, if it's feasible for you, if it's possible based on your personal requirements, and then take a decision on your salaries as well. So I wanted to really take this time towards the end of this video to really share, my experience and how I was able to go from, say, a junior designer salary to a vice president or president salary in a matter of couple of years. And how I was able to accelerate also. I'm just a lot like you guys, similar background, similar financial situations. My families, they all had jobs, and I know the importance of hard work, the importance of dedication, and really putting in your life's work to work for somebody else. I was fortunate enough to be able to take my own path away from what my family generally did and build my own thing out. Now, I started in school as a UX designer, and back then from one client I was charging around 25,000 rupees a month, if we really take the financials here. Entering college, I had a couple of clients. There were some clients from IIT Incubator. There were some clients who were well funded to go on dates in college, to be able to do my own thing, without asking for money from my family. And that was a huge, I feel very blessed in those moments. Now, moving forward from college, I knew I had to, not only boost my career, but also really give myself a better chance at getting to the point I wanted to get. I took up a full-time job, and my full-time job, the first full-time job, was with Fab Hotels. Before that, I was doing freelancing, and I was really just on my own. Fab Hotels started paying me the median salary of a mid-level designer because I was, somewhat experienced in the field. I had a good portfolio. I had done work with people, and I could really speak my heart out when it comes to UX design. So they knew I was someone coming with experience, coming with, some work to back him up with. Now, after that, I kept on changing jobs. And to be honest, it was pretty much my fault that I was, jumping jobs from one job to another. One, because my mental health wasn't the best working in those companies. Not going to point out which companies my mental health went down in, but I used to have tiffs with every single CEO, fight with every one of them, because I knew in certain cases where I knew I was right, I was not going to take their politics. And that is something that I've never, been accepting of, and I've always wanted to, move ahead from that and not get stuck in those politics. So because I used to fight back, none of them really appreciated me, which is fine. And after that, I had started to earn mid to senior level designer salaries in a span of 2.5 years, which is, I think, great progress. Maybe just because I'm able to talk myself out of everything. So I convinced every company how, that I can really benefit their companies, and I did. So I talk the talk and walk the walk, always. After that, I realized I had to start my entrepreneurship journey because that is how I function the best. Function the best if I'm working on my own and have my own ideas out there. So I invested my own money into my own business, which is Design Wings. And now Design Wings is at a level where people trust it, people want to join it, people want to, pay even high amounts of their hard-earned money onto it, and I really appreciate that. So now I've gone to, of course, a CEO's level salary because I was able to come out of there and realize that the 9-to-5 lifestyle is not for me personally. That is my journey, and those were the things that I even stated in the video. So if you do follow those, at some point of time, you will gain a certain amount of success. Maybe more than what I did, maybe less than what I did, but whatever it is, you will be happy at the end of the day. Happiness is important. Don't get stuck in that income circle of getting, I need to earn more. I need to earn as much as this person, Soon as you start comparing, your mental health will go down the drain, and I want none of you to get down that path because I've been through it and I don't want other people to be through as well. So that was a little bit of my experience, how I went from, junior and, started gaining and started, my own entrepreneurship journey. And now I am at the CEO salary level, and I really appreciate all of that as well. So again, just to summarize all of that, take risks, make sure that you're not stuck in one place for a long time, hoping for something better to happen. 3, make sure that if you cannot make the money you want to make in the space you are in, you are adamant enough and you go out of your comfort zone to actually get to the place you want to be in. So if you're happy with 9-to-5 job salaries, stick to that and don't force yourself to go onto the entrepreneurship path. And same for the other way around. If you're meant to be an entrepreneur and you really feel that's the place you want to be in, go on that path and make your own money rather than, feeding off someone else. I would love to know your opinions in the comments below. Make sure the comments are flooded with your comments. I will see you every week, Monday and Thursday, same time, same place. Until next time, do take care of yourself and your mental health. Take care. God bless.